Today in the battle arena, well, we've got man versus machine. Iron Man, the Armored Avenger, going up against Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots, always there, ready to give an inspiring speech. And shout out to Smile-Zilla for requesting this fight a little while ago. Now, who wins? Who's going to come out top? Well, let's find out. What's up, guys? I'm Daniel. This is DanCo. Thank you so much for watching the channel. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, the subscribe button, and turn notifications. Also, go follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that. Link in the description down below. And sign off in the comments for any future videos that you'd love to see. Now, let's get into the fight. Now, right out of the gate, just one simple rule. I got one little rule for you. You can use any suit for Tony that you want. Heck, you can throw them all in there together and do a composite suit. You just can't use the Hulkbuster. That's the rule. Any suit, all suits combined. Alright, now let's get into it. And speaking of Tony, speaking of Mr. Stark, let's talk about him for a second here. He started off building the first Iron Man suit in a cave with a box of scraps.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps!
But man, it just got better and better from there. And you can definitely see the clear progression of Tony's suits. Like each one builds on the others. Each one gets more and more powerful than the last. He's been able to fight against Thor, managed to kick him around, fought against Ultron, sucker punched Giant Man. He's been able to catch some heavy things, push together a big old fairy that freaking Pete managed to break apart. But it's really a big ol' upgrade when Infinity War and Endgame roll around. Because Iron Man was able to fight against Thanos. He threw a giant building, spaceship, hunk of junk. He threw it down on top of Thanos. He caught Thanos with some pretty nasty attacks. And even though it did just do a little drop of blood, that was more than Hulk did. So it's not like this isn't an impressive feat for Iron Man. It's just that Thanos is, well, Thanos. Now, Cole Obsidian, on the other hand, that's no big deal. That's just Iron Man tangling with a Hulk-level guy. Yeah, no sweat. So Tony's strong. He's real strong. Maybe not quite Thor or Captain Marvel strong. Probably not even Hulk strong, despite fighting Thanos. But he's not too far behind. He's also definitely tough. Like, seriously, Tony can take a punch. He can definitely take a hit. He's taken attacks from Thor and Mjolnir. Some by accident, some on purpose. He's taken attacks from Ultron. All those were definitely on purpose. He's been beaten up by Captain America and Winter Soldier, which definitely wasn't the best look. But hey, you gotta make it an even fight somehow, so you gotta do what you gotta do. And then again, there's Infinity War and Endgame. He took some pretty heavy hits from Cole Obsidian, who again, it's safe to say that guy is like a Hulk level, Abomination level threat. He even took some hits from his blind side, so like Iron Man couldn't repair himself to defend from those. Then again, well, Thanos comes around. And Thanos just absolutely wails on him, just really lays into him. He took the best that Iron Man could give, wasn't impressed, and they beat the crap out of him.
You have been weighed, you have been measured, and you have been found wanting.
He's had parts of moons drop down on him, been in some pretty nasty explosions, been hit with all sorts of energy blast and lightning and telekinesis and magic and everything. Iron Man is really, really tough. It's honestly kind of crazy just how physically powerful Iron Man is, because when you stop and think about it, it's really just a man in a metal suit of armor. But I guess that is part of Tony Stark's genius. Part of what makes Tony, Tony. But I mean, he is going up against Optimus Prime, a giant alien robot. Definitely not a walk in the park right here. Now, before we get back to the video, I just want to take a quick second to remind y'all that we have a TikTok channel with exclusive TikTok videos out right now, like Evil Doctor Strange vs. Scarlet Witch, Riot vs. Carnage, James Bond vs. Harry Hart, all those out. Go check that out. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram. And if you're liking this video, sign off in the comments and hit that like button. It really does help us out a ton. And now, back to the video. So, Optimus Prime. Now, say what you will about Michael Bay's Transformers, and there's definitely a lot to say. But I've always kind of seen Optimus Prime as like a shining light in that series. Kind of like a North Star, guiding the way, showing what could have been. Plus, he is just badass, always taking out Decepticons with just absolutely no remorse. This is probably where you're going to find most of his strength feats, just from busting up Decepticons. And he's actually able to completely dominate these guys. Just dominate them. He's able to send them flying for attacks, chop off limbs, chop off heads, punch them in half, punch straight through them, really just do whatever he wants to them. Then you gotta take a step back and remember these are giant robots fighting each other here, punching each other here. I mean, just look at all the damage they're doing to the area all around them with each punch, with each attack. On top of that, just like Iron Man, Optimus Prime can definitely take a punch. He can take a good hit. And the funny thing is, because he's a robot, it's really hard, it's not impossible to actually hurt him and to slow him down. Now, it's not like he's invincible or anything. There was a whole movie about Optimus dying and being killed by the Decepticons. But look at this. Check this out. Shot through the body, doesn't go down. Shot through the body again, doesn't go down. Impaled through the chest, doesn't die. He can take who knows how many attacks from all sorts of other Transformers, like Megatron, like Bumblebee, and just not go down. So physically, I might say that Optimus Prime has the leg up over Iron Man. Tony can hang. He can hang with the best of them. But Optimus Prime clearly has a much higher pain tolerance. He's definitely tougher, and it looks like he might just be stronger too. I think the difference here is that Iron Man is a whole lot smaller, a whole lot faster, a whole lot more agile than anybody Optimus has fought before. That'll definitely be a factor. That'll be a factor here for sure. Plus, it's not like Iron Man isn't strong, not like he isn't tough. Fighting Cole Obsidian, fighting Thor, fighting Thanos, that's a pretty impressive resume right there. So then what about all their nice, big, fancy weapons? Well, Iron Man's repulsor blast are pretty powerful. Knocking Thor around, knocking Ultron around, knocking Cole Obsidian around. He's got lasers that can just slice clean through metal. He's got all sorts of explosives. Explosives that can blow up big Leviathans. Ones that can blow up Ultron. Ones that even staggered Thanos. Though with all those nanobots that make up his new armor, well, Iron Man can form just about any weapon imaginable. I'm talking big ol' energy swords, big ol' energy blasters, big ol' shields, all of it. He can do just about anything. But problem for him here, Optimus Prime can do a lot too. He can turn his arms into swords, into big old hooks. And dude, you definitely don't want to cross him when he's swinging those things around. He'll just slice you right in half. He can pop out some knuckle dusters, throw an axe in the mix every now and then. Then he'll even use his shield sometimes and do a nice shield bash. Go all Captain America. But it's really his guns that do the most damage. These things are able to just absolutely blast Decepticons away. He's done this all the time. He's doing it all over the place, just firing away, shooting everybody up. So with all that being said, who's coming out on top here? Who wins? Well, I think it's got to be Iron Man. Here's my thinking. Iron Man's definitely more versatile, so he's got that going for him in a big way. But I think it shouldn't be overlooked that Tony is roughly just as strong as Optimus. He's taking the kinds of attacks that Prime can dish out. But Iron Man is so much smaller and is faster, and I think it's going to be so difficult for Optimus to just pin him down. Then throw in the fact that it's not just anybody in the suit. It's Tony Stark, one of the world's greatest hackers, if not the greatest hacker. I mean, he hacked into the Pentagon in high school on a dare. And then you throw that, and you throw Friday's super advanced AI in there, And I think he can get through whatever defenses Optimus's creators put in him. He's genuinely that good. So yeah, I think Iron Man can come out on top here. I think Tony can beat Optimus. But what do y'all think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Sign off in the comments down below. Who do you think wins this fight? Iron Man or Optimus Prime? Also, who do you want to see fight next? Sign off down below. And finally, like I said, be sure to the like button, the subscribe button, and turn notifications from the FanCo army. And I will see y'all next time.